You're watching Fugitive Red-Eye, and welcome to another anime review. Today I'll be reviewing the anime adaptation of Devil Lady, also known as Devilman Lady. Devil Lady is based off the manga of the same name by Go Nagai, and although it does have pretty much the same premise, it follows almost an entirely different plot. Devil Lady follows a woman named June Fudo, who becomes a devil man and has to fight demons. And similarly to the manga, for the earlier parts of it, it is pretty much a monster of the week sort of thing, as the manga was, especially in the earlier chapters. Unlike the manga, this doesn't have as many ties back to the original Devilman. Like, Akira's presence in this isn't the same as it is in the other version. He is kind of in this, although his name is Takeshi, but it's very clearly supposed to be another version of Akira. And a lot of other characters do have anime equivalents. Like, I think Jason Bates is basically the anime version of Devilman Liger, and it does adapt some parts directly from the manga, such as the Shark chapter, which is where she fights Aoi Kurosaki, old rival. A few things that are majorly different about the Devil Lady anime as compared to the manga, though, is that instead of being a teacher, June is actually a model in this version. Warning, there will be some spoilers in this next bit, so you have been warned. In the manga, June is revealed to be one half of Satan, whereas Asuka is the other half. In this version, though, however, they are different characters, meaning they're each their own individual person. And Asuka does become a different form called the Godchild, which looks very similar to Ryu's Satan form from Devilman. And Asuka is basically the reincarnation of Ryu. And like I said, Takeshi in this version is sort of like the reincarnation of Akira, even though Akira himself is in the manga version. As far as that goes, I do think that in a way there are some things that are definitely better about the anime version, such as each character gets to be their own thing, and it has a more standalone feeling than the original manga does, because the original relies heavily on the original Devilman. And while I do prefer the manga overall, I do see why some people prefer the anime. I will say this too, the anime version is a lot more toned down compared to the manga, because the manga had the most nudity and violence out of any version of Devilman. The Devilman Lady manga did, that is. But the Devil Lady anime has almost no nudity, and in fact, the only character that actually even has nipples is Asuka, which is a bit weird, because it doesn't make any sense to me why it's okay to show hers, but not anyone else's. I guess because she's a hermaphrodite, I guess it's okay? I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, it's a really good story. It has the most horror feeling of any version of the animes, which is why it was in my top 10 horror anime video a while back. It definitely feels very similar to the 70s Devilman in that whole monster of the week feeling to it as well. And there are a few callbacks to it as well, to the 70s series, because Devil Lady, although her normal design looks pretty much like it does in the manga, her Giga Effect form looks like Devilman from the 70s. Takeshi is basically the exact design of Akira from the 70s version, but with his outfit with the reverse colors, and his Devilman transformation looks almost exactly like Devilman from the 70s version, albeit with a few minor changes to his head. But this series is really good. It has a lot of creepy atmosphere, especially in some of the earlier episodes. A few criticisms I do have. They turned Asuka into a total bitch in this version, and I just didn't get it, because in the manga she cared for June and was there for her all the time. But in this version, she's all like, June, you will do what I tell you. You have to listen to me. You're my bitch, basically. And I don't like that. I didn't like the way Asuka is portrayed in the anime. I do think June gets more of a fair trade in the anime than she does in the manga, but I think Asuka is a better character in the manga. Also, June's brother doesn't exist in this version, and instead she has a friend named Kazumi. Overall, it is a really good anime, and if you're a fan of Devilman, I definitely recommend watching it, because it is its own story that's different from the manga, but it's still great. And like I said, the basic concept of the demons versus the human alliance is pretty much the same as it is in the manga, or Devil Beasts, I should say, rather, because they're not called demons in this. And with this version, I think they do tend to keep it more towards the evolutionary aspect, which they did in the earlier chapters of the manga, before revealing the actual demons. So this, it's more grounded in reality, although it's still a bit, you know, sci-fi-ish, kind of. It's more of a mutation rather than being actual demons, which, again, is what they first think in the manga before finding out it is actual demons. But it's a bit weird at times, I'm not gonna lie, especially with the whole Godchild thing with Asuka. It just kind of comes out of nowhere. And it does kind of mirror Ryu's backstory to an extent. Ryu's is a little bit better, though, in Devilman, for sure. But Devil Lady is really good. I definitely recommend you watch it if you haven't. There's not a whole lot more I have to say about it. It does run for a total of 26 episodes, and every one of them is pretty entertaining. And it is a very episodic thing, so you could technically watch most of these in any order, with a few exceptions, obviously. You couldn't watch the first and then the last and expect to get the whole story. And you couldn't watch the last first, then the first, because obviously there are different things here and there. But it is a lot more episodic than, say, Devilman Crybaby or the Devilman OVAs. But anyway, this has been Fugitive Red-Eye, and you have a great day.
Subscribe to Fugitive Red-Eye.